Hi, welcome back to another video. I may or may not be wearing pants this time. And today we're going to be talking about Lost Tapes. So Lost Tapes being probably Animal Planet's best TV show that came out back in the day, it traumatized so many people anywhere around the age of 50 and below. It traumatized the shit out of them. And I gotta say, it was awesome. I mean, I remember my first episode was Alien, and I was fucked up for about 3 months after. They did a good job. They did a really good job on that one. So this time I'm going to be reviewing the first episode, Chupacabra, and man, wasn't was it a ride? It was crazy. So let's talk about it. So the thing is with this one is the fact that the Chupacabra throughout the whole episode they never really locked in on what the fuck it was. At first, they show you like a coyote. And
I've been patrolling these back roads for a long time, and I've never run across anything like this until that day. It looks a lot like...
You look like you only been patrolling in your patrol car, dude. I'm not surprised you haven't seen much. You're in the driver's seat all day.
This...
They show you a bat, then they show you a bat coyote, and then they completely change it to like this bipedal T-Rex mange-looking wide-eyed bug thing. Can they get a single description of this goddamn animal? First it's a bat, first it's a coyote, now it's this weird thing that has two legs and hunched up. Like, what is this? Back to a coyote. So there's not actually like a real thing that locks in what is a chupacabra in this episode. And the sounds that come out of this thing are wild. That sounds like a go-kart motor. Like, it sounds like they took like a go-kart motor, like when you're driving it, and just turn down the volume a little bit and just pitched it a little bit lower. You know, like, yeah, that's good enough for a growl. Okay, it sounds too much like a car engine to me. Like when it revs up, like, and then they just put like a little bit of ground gurgle into it, and they're like, good. People are gonna be scared of that. I say that, and my 5-year-old ass was scared of it.
Tom, something in the bush, man. Tom!
There's something in there?
There's something in there.
Dude, somebody has their go-kart in the fucking bushes.
What is that noise?
Can they lock in on a sound for this goddamn animal? Now it sounds like Re-Kid out in the fucking bushes. I watched the first episode and I recorded myself doing so audio-wise, and all I can say is I'm 25 now, and I mean, it doesn't scare me as much, but throughout the whole time, I was thinking, man, if I was like 6 again, 7 again, and this came out, I'd be looking at my dad like, Dad, shall we go hunting today? There might be chupacabra. We might hear it in the bushes. But nowadays, watching it, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'll be real. The internet killed most of the fun that we used to have back in the day. I mean, take like Blair Witch Project. Everyone thought it was real because there was just no credits at the end of the movie, and that was enough to scare the shit out of everyone. So back then, when Lost Tapes came out, it changed the game. It changed what we consider like horror, creepy, and I think it was one of the first things that like busted out in the mainstream. That like your average mom and dad would start watching like this weird horror thing that Animal Planet released, right? And it was really cool. I mean, I remember watching some of the other episodes, like the UFO one. That one was really cool. They had like UFOs come down, shine a light, pick motherfuckers up, and they were just there like, no, Daniel. But you just don't get that anymore. Thanks to the internet, especially with AI nowadays, everyone can see something and be like, oh, it's fake. Oh, it's AI generated. Oh, it's CGI. Oh, it's just special effects. So back then when this came out, it was revolutionary, I would say, especially concerning what we consider media nowadays. It changed a lot of what we consider entertainment for your average day at home person. I mean, nowadays we all watch analog horror. I mean, I watch analog horror all day. Is it healthy for me? God, no. And what do I listen to instead of music? Creepypastas. I do need a lot of help. But in saying that, I can determine whether or not I consider something good media, because I do consume a ton of media. I mean, 90% of what I watch is no longer traditional TV. Most of the time, it's going to be something on YouTube. I think traditional TV just kind of phased out. When saying that, I think Lost Tapes was the start of that. Because now anyone can take a shitty camera like what I'm doing now and make videos. And if you just took a shitty enough camera, shook it around a lot while you ran through the woods, and you just put in some like banshee noises, boom, boom, whole movie done in a matter of fucking like what, a day or two? So I mean, media nowadays has changed. We all like to look towards smaller creators like myself, and less like even bigger creators, Mr. Beast, Somewhere Near Gamers, for example, Linus Tech Tips. Like these are all very drastically different people. But in saying that, they're nowhere near the size of, I don't know, MSNBC, Fox News Network. Even like things that kids watch, like Cartoon Network. They're nowhere near that size. These are small businesses at the end of the day, and it's crazy to see that these small businesses will outperform these massive studios most of the time. I mean, let's take, for instance, the Unsubscribed podcast. They recently exposed the Buffalo school system for sexual harassment, hiding sexual harassment and the sexual assault of students. Yeah, a public school system was hiding that and personally deleting evidence of it as well. And the detective Richard Hyde, aka Angry Cops, decided to go on the podcast instead of going to the local news for multiple reasons, but the biggest being of which that podcast would get more views, a lot more attention than the local news would. A podcast has more power than a traditional news network. So it really shows nowadays what we consider media, what we consider strong online. Because a local news network can release bullshit, right? And we'll all dunk on it all day. Clips will be posted on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. And in the comments, you're just going to see nothing but people dunking on them, saying that they're fucking stupid, that they're dumb, whatever, they got these facts wrong. But then we look at something like a podcast where, these people take their time because they understand that the internet will not let them fail. Like, if you fail on the internet, it's permanent, right? What you said, you can't take it back. You can apologize for it, but you can't take it back. So they were able to see a traditional news network, realize that they got so many facts wrong, and then small creators like myself said, shit, I need to get the facts right. I can't be doing what the traditional news network does and let themselves make these mistakes and then go, oh, we have enough money not to care about these mistakes. That's no longer the case. Now you have to have the right facts. If not, the internet gets mad. Where was it going with this? Oh, right, Lost Tapes. And that's kind of where I'm circling back to. Lost Tapes was kind of the start of that. It started with a major news network, gave us small creators good ideas to work with. And then we took it with it and ran. And now you can see nowadays, most YouTube videos get more views than any other news network or traditional media outlet. And I think it mostly started with Lost Tapes. There might have been some other shows beforehand, but I think Lost Tapes is what took it and shoved it in all our faces that you no longer need a good camera. You do need decent sound quality though. Sorry. But you do need decent sound quality. I'm working on that. I'm currently yelling into my earbud. My Bluetooth earbud. It's my mic for today, guys. What can I say? But yeah, it's one of those things where you no longer need multi-million dollars in order to pull off a movie, in order to pull off a good show. And it's hard to say that a lot of people can do it. Everyone can do it. Shit. I'm doing it with the cheapest phone that I possibly can buy. And there are people out there walking around with $3,000 iPhones that think, gee, how am I going to make this TikTok today? You know, it just doesn't work out that way. You just got to do it. And Lost Tapes kind of proves that. I mean, I'm going to be showing some footage here where they're zooming in on like the family members, and they do a pretty good job by making it look like somebody's real at-home footage. So the whole premise of the show so far is the fact that it's a girl's 9th birthday, and her uncle, aka her dad's brother, decided to get them a video camera and then buy them a coyote to smuggle them into the US. So essentially, her uncle planned for them to create a vlog being smuggled into the US. Super based. Another thing they also got pretty good was the facts. I live in Texas, which is a border state. So we've been dealing with, I'm not going to call it a problem, but it is an issue here, the immigration issue, where people are coming through illegally. And they come through these very dangerous passages through the desert, through Texas, Arizona, and California. And they do a pretty good job on describing how dangerous it actually is going through these areas.
Border Patrol officials said it is the coyotes that are to blame for leading migrants into remote parts of the Sonora Desert.
So that's actually a real fact that even stands true till today. The people who are smuggling these people in, the coyotes, are what caused most of their deaths, because they take them to like the worst paths possible, mainly because Border Patrol doesn't go down rough terrain that they don't have to, and sometimes they'll take them all the way through. Most of the times they're just going to leave them there and tell them to go on their way, because they don't want to get caught. So they'll take them like 3/4 of the way, halfway there, and just let them run. 134 degrees in the shade. I live here in Texas, and it does not get that bad. Don't get me wrong, it'll be 115 in the shade, but 134. So let me put it into perspective. If the whole world were to shift 8 degrees, negative or positive, then that 8 degrees will be enough to change the world forever. If we go to 8 degrees too hot, then it's enough to kill most of life on Earth. If we go 8 degrees too cold, then on average, most life on Earth will be too cold to live. We live in that little Goldilocks zone. And to imagine there's a place that's 134 degrees in the shade, I'm surprised anything can fucking live there. I mean, it's a testament to biology, I'll say that. Because I've been hunting so many times, and I'll tell you, if you're not from Texas, if you're not from Arizona or California, you don't understand what you can deal with here, because it can go south really fucking quickly. I realize what I said. Going south, LOL. Anyway, but yeah, it can get pretty bad pretty fucking quick if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you don't have a gun, don't have water, or at least a good knife. And if you have no actual survival skills, man, it's going to be a rough one for you. I've been out there lost before in the woods with people looking for me, and I was on enclosed property within a 500-acre property, and it still took them a day and a half to actually locate me. I stayed in the same place. I left marks of where I was going. I was breaking tree branches, making stacks of rocks with arrows pointing, saying like, hey, I went that way. Because overall, I was trying to find water. I was trying to find one of the watering tanks there, where it would be easier for them to find me and drive up. And I got very lucky, and they did. But in saying that, it can go south pretty quickly. If there wasn't people looking for me, if I didn't leave all those tracks, and if I had no basic survival skills, man, I'd still be out there, But yeah, they do a pretty good job at describing how dangerous it actually is going through these areas. And I can attest from personal experience, yes, it is that dangerous. Like, it sounds a little bit exaggerated, but it can get really dicey. I mean, the best way to describe it is like when you go up north, there are bigger animals out there like mooses, bears, and blah, blah, blah. But out here in Texas, the environment itself will get to you. it's that it's the same way everywhere, but like here, just the heat of it, and then the sheer coldness at night that can come, it will really mess with your body. It will drive you to the limits on it. Because imagine if you're sweating profusely all day, and then you're exhausted from it. Then when you try to go to sleep, you're shaking cold, and now your muscles are even more exhausted because you're just shaking all night. Then you wake up and you start sweating again. Yeah, you have a day and a half to 2 days before help, by the time they reach you, it might be more of a recovery than a rescue. So they do a good job of describing what these people go through, how dangerous it is, and they also show a good amount of, what's the word for it, humanity in these people. Because I don't want this to become a political issue, especially right now with what's going on with ICE and all the riots and stuff in LA and going around all across the country. There are people, I want them to have good lives. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. I want them to live their dreams like everyone else. Whatever that entails is out of my power. But whatever they do, I just hope they're happy. That goes for everyone. But yeah, they do a good job at showing these people humanity and showing them how it starts with a very loving family and it ends with a terrified daughter. And it's honestly a little bit heartbreaking, especially as a dad, seeing that. But again, they do a good job at it.
Pero, ¿cómo nos va a dejar aquí? ¿Pero cómo es posible? Con mi familia nos está matando.
The one thing about Lost Tapes that they kind of don't do a good job at is when it comes down to like the way how stuff is being recorded, of course. In this episode, for some reason, they have the Border Patrol agent that stumbles upon the crime scene pick up the camera and start vlogging.
Right here. I don't know about the heat, man, but this one's got the...
Why does he have like a straight up movie camera? Like, y'all see that? That's like a... Like, that's actually like a real fucking camera. Border Patrol would not carry that. Homie would be on his iPhone. Like, he's straight up just like, whoa, whoa. Not even compared to XQC at the time, because he sounds like fucking XQC going through this.
This is crazy. This is just crazy.
He's XQC. Wow, chat, wow. Wow, chat, this is crazy. This is crazy, chat, wow.
Again, no blood.
Again, no blood, chat. Wow, chat, wow. Now, is that realistic? God, no. Is it good for, good for content? Hell yeah. Dude was getting those fucking shots in, dude. Fuck yeah, I would follow him.
There's a little girl here, man. There's a little girl.
Why does he still just have the camera? Do y'all see that? Hold up.
There's a little girl here, man. There's a little girl.
Look, homie's stumbling up here and he's still just holding the camera. See, he's trying to get those fucking golden shots right there. I love it. He stops, relines the shot, and everything. I also do think it's funny how Lost Tapes goes through this series of trying to show that they know how the police work, but then they do a bunch of stupid shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. It's TV's entertainment. But if you're gonna tell me that like these are police officers and this is real footage, at least have a little bit of protocol in there. Like, call up their main office and be like, "Hey, we're doing a TV show. Can we get some what do they call them? Can we get somebody just for some advisor?
Surveillance has detected 4 crossers.
At first they said there were 3, then they said there were 4, and now there's none. It's not making any...
That doesn't make sense. Because, like, again, it's supposed to be like a dog creature, right? So they're not going to count a dog as a part of, like, a body count. Okay, there's 3 of them, and then they have a dog, so that makes 4. No, they're going to say that there's 3 people and a dog. I mean, I'm sure they had the budget for it. Lost Tapes was not a very expensive show to make, given, the nature of it being filmed and all that. The more expensive part that came in the Lost Tapes was the editing, production, and then the distribution of it. I mean, even till this day, it's hard to find lost tapes. I tried searching every single free website I could, and no free website had it. Not one that I could find, at least. I searched all through Reddit, and yeah, I could not find it for free online. I only was able to look at, like, you know, streaming apps that wanted me to purchase it some way or another. And then I found out some awesome badass out there took the 3 seasons and posted them on YouTube for free for people like me to enjoy and for people like you to enjoy as well. So I mean, hell yeah. Another thing they also did pretty well was actually the horror aspect of it all. Like, there's some good jump scares in there. Well, there's one in this first episode, but you know, in other episodes I remember there was a good amount of jump scares, and they do a good job at it.
What's your name? Eva. Pretty friend there. Puerco.
This motherfucker is sitting in the backseat of the cruiser while his friend is out there getting content. That these officers are they're due for a promotion. They are due for a promotion.
Everything's gonna be alright. You and Puerco.
Get out of the car! Stop, get out of the car! Get out of the car!
I'll be right there.
There's something out there, man. I'm not making this up. There's something out there.
You stay right here.
I love the jump scare. That was a legitimately good jump scare. And I will say that it did set the bar pretty high, not gonna lie. Like, by way of like found footage, I think it did set the bar relatively high going into it, especially by way of like it being traumatizing. I think the only thing that outperformed it since is probably Blair Witch. And if there's another example y'all can think of, I would love to hear it. I would love to check it out, actually. If there's something that outperformed Blair Witch in that aspect, and like it being traumatizing, scary, and it fooled a lot of people into thinking that it was real. Well, maybe the Backrooms, actually, because like I remember like the first time I saw the Backrooms, I was like, "Whoa, pocket dimension, guys! Oh shit, it's real." But then, you know, I realized that it was done by somebody named Kane Pixels, and then I realized I got trolled. I mean, but that's kind of like the whole point of doing that sort of stuff. He does a great job at it. He fooled so many people. Go check out his channel. Check out Backrooms and The Oldest View. Both of them are bangers. I know he's working on some other stuff right now, with a studio and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly all the series that he's made, but he's also really good. One thing though that I do think Lost Tapes needs to improve on is kind of like the ending, because a lot of the endings, they just kind of like, you know, they try to play the whole, oh, the government covered it up, guys. The government's hiding shit from us. We all know this, and that's why we don't see these cryptids. But they do it in the dumbest way possible. It's funny.
Did you see that? What was that, man? You saw it, right? You saw it. Jeez.
Hey, Valentine, word is you got a couple of 1017s out here.
The official Border Patrol incident report lists the cause of death of Mr. and Mrs. Ramirez as unknown.
Hey, Valentina, I heard you out here running around with a fucking camera.
Got it.
Yeah, I got it.
You coming, or you want to stay out here all night?
He gives him back the fucking camera. He gives him back the camera. At the end of this one, the two parents die. The daughter's left alive, and when other Border Patrol agents show up, keep in mind, these two guys were like running to the woods. They're scared as shit. You know, they're looking at each other like, oh, what was that? What was that? Dude, what was that? And then, you know, their backup shows up, and they're like, hey, I heard you got 2 dead bodies. What are y'all doing? What's up with that camera, dude? And they're just like, shh, don't tell them about the monster. We won't talk about the monster. And I do think that's honestly kind of funny. Like to think that, you know, there's this demon dog thing running throughout the woods. Y'all got some dead bodies in your hand, and the first thing y'all think of is like, shh, we can't talk about this because they're gonna make fun of us. Meanwhile, that little girl is in the backseat like, demon, demon, it's over there in the bushes, demon. So I mean, you know, I do think some aspects of it are pretty funny like that. But in saying that, it's a good kind of funny. It pulls you out from the show a little bit and go like, oh, come on, guys, come on, you know. But yeah, I mean, Lost Tapes. Go check it out on YouTube. Go check it out. I think it was Apple TV, Prime Video. I know you could buy the whole season there, the whole first season for like $22. That's a pretty good deal in my eyes. I just don't have the money for it right now. The last $20 I actually had, I went and spent it on an editing software, which is how I'm making this video. That's how I've been making all my videos actually. I used my last $20 on that. Life as a YouTuber and as a stay-at-home dad. And saying that, if y'all want more content coming from me, from your favorite stay-at-home bunny dad, hell yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see, and we got a lot more cooking up. Backpack review is coming. I am doing a review on my tools here pretty soon, and I'm still working on a magic video. That video's been pissing me off now for about 4 days, but I'm gonna get it done today. And y'all are going to get a double upload. This episode and then probably the magic episode. Because I'm having a lot more fun with this than I am with that magic episode. Anyway, have a good day, y'all. Peace. Wait right there. Are you tired? Do you need a drink? A little pick-me-up for today? Guess what, everyone? We got a sponsor. W Energy has stepped up and has given me a link. That's right. Code BunnyClub. Go check out their website. They got flavors like purple dub sauce, Japanese soda, Grandpa's denture water, classics, of course. They got a wide variety with even caffeine-free options. And believe it or not, they even have creator cups. They even have some anime mommy cups for sale there. Check out their formula there too. They got coffee fruit extract up in there. That sounds so good. Not only that, but it's chock full of B vitamins, which will keep us going all day. Anyway, go check out the link. Go check out the link below, and please code BunnyClub at checkout. Again, thank you W Energy for stepping up and giving me this sponsorship. I really appreciate it.